Hi, I'm Clever Ghoul, but you can call me Nikki. Welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry I've missed the last couple of weeks. Again, I'm suffering at the hands of this ADHD medication shortage, and I'm really struggling. So I appreciate you sticking around and being here, and thank you so much for your patience. A few weeks ago, I was wandering around in IKEA, and you know how they have that clearance section at the end, the as-is section where you can buy something at discount? Well, I found one of these mannequin hands, and when I saw it, I just had this urge to zombify it, or I don't know, just make it a little creepy and Halloween-y. So that's what we're doing today. So basically what I wanted to do was take this hand and turn it into if Corpse Bride and Beetlejuice got together and made a hand. Let's go with that. So basically what I mean is I want to take the blue kind of undead look of Corpse Bride and match it with the mossy texture on the side of Beetlejuice's face and bring those together to make this hand. I don't know if that makes sense, but let's get into it. Now to start, you could prime this, but I didn't. Instead, I just went straight in. I sanded any little rough areas that needed to be touched up, and then I jumped right in with the acrylic paint. I started with the light blue as the base, dry brushing it in with a bigger brush, and then eventually went in with a smaller brush to get those little nooks and crannies and all the details covered. Once that was dry, I took a sponge brush, dipped it into some blue paint, and just brushed that on, just to add some depth back into the hand. I didn't want it to be a really in-your-face color difference, so I took some paper towels, wet them a little bit, and then rubbed them over the areas that I had just painted to smooth it out and just have a softer shadow on the hand. Once the hand was the perfect blue that I wanted it to be, I knew that I wanted to add in a little worm friend. Now in the Corpse Bride, she has Maggot, but I wanted to make my own little friendly worm. So to do that, I cut up some armature wire, wrapped it around the finger that I wanted to attach it to. Then I slowly loosened it a little bit so that it was slightly wider than when I had started, because I was going to apply clay to it, and when doing that, it could make the worm tighter and not be able to fit on the fingers. So I wanted to give it some wiggle room. I took out some polymer clay that I had, rolled it up in my hands and got it warmed up, and then I wrapped it around that armature wire base that I had just made. And then when I got to the head, I made it kind of more bulbous and put a little happy face on it, and then added ridges all up and down the worm to make it look more realistic. Even though we're not really going for realistic, we're going for cartoony here. Once I got in the worm to my liking, I put it in the oven for 15 minutes and then let it cool before I started painting it. To paint the worm, I initially was thinking, oh, I'll do bright green, again, kind of as an ode to Maggot from Corpse Bride, but I put that on and I did not like it. Right away, instantly said, no sir. So I went and washed it off and started over. I decided to go for more of a realistic, not really realistic though, worm color, basically using bright pink and burgundy. First I went in and did bright pink all over the worm, and once that dried, I went in and using my fingers, just rubbed in a little bit of the burgundy color and wiped off any excess, trying to give it again texture and depth and make it look fun. I didn't want this to look super realistic, so I was okay with it being a little bit more brighter and vibrant than an actual worm would be. Once the worm was all painted and dry, it was time to attach it back to the finger, so using some hot glue, I placed it in position and glued it down. And then I got to the fun part of adding in that Beetlejuice moss texture along the hand. Add as much moss as you want. Moss it up. You can never have too much moss. I probably could have added more, but I kind of want to get some more at the craft store in different darker green tones and maybe some purples to add in. So for now, this is as good as it's gonna get. Again, easy project. Anyone could do this, and honestly, you could do endless things with this hand, which I guess means it's time for the reveal. So here it is. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think the blues turned out really nicely and really remind me of how the colors do end up looking in Corpse Bride, which I need to rewatch, by the way. I think it's a really fun piece that's gonna look really cool during Halloween or year round. I'm definitely gonna put it in a bookcase somewhere so it has a nice little home. I love my little worm friend here. That little face, it's so cute and I love it. And I'm just really happy with how this turned out. Now, if you had one of these artist mannequin hands, how would you decorate it? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!